Hello, welcome to another Riftwalker Let's Play. Thanks for watching. Unfortunately, I had to mute the audio in most of this video as it got disrupted by something. I'm not exactly sure what, but please try to enjoy it even without sound. With this boss, I tend to try to focus the Pyromancer first. He has a lot of range. He's the most range out of all the early ones. So if you can get him out first, it makes the fight, I think, dramatically easier. He's also the most unpredictable out of them, as he has several attacks that look the same but act differently, and not knowing exactly what he's doing can be deadly. Thing of note, my weapon actually breaks halfway through this battle. The bosses appear to be weak to bolt. I'm not sure about arcane, but the enemies in the area seem to be resistant to arcane, so I assume the same for them. Fire, however, they appear to be extremely resistant to, which makes the boss fight much harder for me after my weapon becomes at risk. When a weapon becomes at risk in Bloodborne, you see it happen right there, it actually does less damage, and this can be very bad. As you can see, I noticed it did less damage. Significantly so, I tried to see how my Ligarius would fare. It does fire damage, however, so I didn't expect much. You can see I did less damage with the other one. I decided to try with the two-hand. This is my first try at the boss, so you can see a lot of experimentation during this exact playthrough. By first, I don't mean ever first. It's my first on this character, and I haven't tried this kind of build on the character, nor with these weapons. But they seem to be dealing fairly well. You can see the boss switch before. I went for the power attack because it leaves him open. You want to get that one good hit in if you can. If any of them have grouped up, you might want to change your position to try to hit as many of them as possible as you can with a good power attack. After the first one is down, I try to go after the fire one, as you can see. This one has the most range out of all of them, at least left anyway. And the final one is much easier to parry and therefore much easier to deal with. However, you could still attack them pretty much evenly. It doesn't matter which one ends up at last. I just prefer to have the one that's easier to parry at the end. This boss battle is mostly about managing your position between the two bosses. You want to try to keep your position in a defensive area until you can find an opening. The bosses will keep pressure on pretty hard with their long range. As you can see, you want to keep them probably both on the same side of you, simply so you can know how to react. They will, however, make this very hard, as a lot of them will try to move around you. But if you can keep them within your field of vision, or at least field of awareness, you should be able to have a much better time of it. Now when this boss goes in for the fire breath, as you can see, it's very easy to dodge. However, he has several long range attacks, and so you probably want to stay close to him to at least bait him into the fire attack. After he does the fire attack, he's usually open, but he will try to dodge backwards and away. The attacks that knock you on the ground might seem intimidating. However, usually they'll go for an attack that is usually timed just so that the first moment you can dodge, it will try to hit. And so if you can get out of there, it should be fairly easy. Now, as you notice, I'm trying to bait into a power attack here. The reason that is because when you do a heavy attack, like the charged heavy attack, it will actually ignore most of the defenses of the enemy you're hitting. This can be very useful against bosses when you know you're using an ineffective damage type. Or in other bosses, not necessarily this one, the heavy attack can be used to usually get very longer reach, or at least you can use it into a bait. in which you can get the boss hit for pretty good. I wouldn't recommend it on this boss fight though. Um, as you can see, they have lots of quick attacks. I tried to do it, but I found my strategy to be failing. So you should honestly just try to keep the pressure on with light, short attacks that you can do in bursts. There, I kind of screwed up. I didn't want to do attack. Okay, when he does this, you basically want to get away. Try to get to the edge of the map as quickly as possible. He will do a lot of damage. Even if you try to stun lock him out of it, it appears that it still works. So you need to get away. Try to put as much distance between you as the boss and the boss as possible. You can see now that the other one is down, I have gone into strategy where I'm trying to parry him. This boss, however, seems to be in an attack animation and not apply the parry, so I do fail several times. You need to wait just until the end, and you don't really feel that on most of the mobs. Now, I noticed in this area it actually appears to be able to, I guess you could say, make his red snake attack ineffective. You seem to stay out of the range of most of them, even though it's pretty tight in. The boss doesn't have much area of effect or reach when you're this close to him. So if you can keep the pressure on, you can very easily apply large amounts of damage to him, and then the moment you run out of stamina, you can retreat away. You can see going for the parry, finish him off. That's how you should probably try to kill him. The more time you leave him open, the more time you have for him to summon his snakes and do a lot of damage to you. Thanks for watching my videos. If you like my videos, like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video.